Hey, good morning, YouTube. The Most High gave me another dream, and it scared the living daylights out of me. It is August the 12th. It is 5:30 in the morning. Um, well, in this dream, I just remember I was in the elevator with this lady, and the elevator door wouldn't close. And it was a space about this much, about this high. The little old lady tried to stick her hand out of the outside the hole, and I pulled it back. But my briefcase with all my nurse's notes and stuff was in the inside. And this briefcase that I had, it was it was my grandfather's. So it was one of them thick ones about this big, you know, the hard plastic one. He was a construction worker. It had crunched it down to about this big. So I had to go and see this manager. She gave me all these tests and everything, I guess to see if I was on drugs or whatever. But I was clean. So they was doing these tests on that little old lady or whatever. Just a little white lady. She must have been one of my clients. But she was really sweet. She's a sweet old lady. So uh it was my niece's husband. My niece Tinker. Her husband was in this dream with me. And my brother-in-law, Art, they live in Texas. Well, in this dream, I was leaving the office. We had walked up some stairs. We get outside, and my niece's husband, he goes back to work. And me and my brother-in-law, I leave with him. I get in his truck. His truck was red, like candy apple red. It was weird because it was summertime, and we go outside, and the sky is this beautiful, like purple or fuchsia color. I've never seen this color ever in my life. It had like this real pretty blue in it, and the clouds were real strange, but they were dark. It was like these clouds were producing this electricity. I don't know. It was just weird. So I was like, well, we need to go home. So we go, I jump in his truck, in the back of his truck because it's nice outside. And he tries to leave, but the asphalt is covered in this thin layer of ice. And it's summertime. It's warm outside with this ice. And he was doing donuts. So he said, don't sit in the back, get up here in the front. I was like, okay. He says he has to go over his auntie's house because his auntie hadn't been paying her rent. And he need to go over there and see what was going on. So I was like, that's cool, I'll ride with you. So I'm in the cab of the truck. We get over there and I'm sitting in the truck. But I get out of the truck. Actually, in the dream, I stopped somewhere. I don't know how I got this bag of weed, but I had a bag of weed in my pocket. And I don't know why, because I don't smoke. And I was just like, I had forgot I had it. And we get to his auntie and uncle's apartment. Um, and I look up in the sky and everything is still the same. The skies is real pretty purple color with blue, uh, but these dark clouds had this. I can't even say they were. The clouds was kind of like a bluish color, but they were producing this electrical storm that was crazy. It was I had never seen nothing like it. So I'm out and I'm watching this, but I'm holding on to the truck because it's slick. It's like wintertime, but it's in the middle of the summer. So Art is in there. He's gone about 10 minutes. And then I looked up in the sky. I looked up in the sky. And in between, the spaces between the clouds or whatever, I could see it was this really, 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 really brilliant light that started coming from behind these clouds. And the clouds is passing in front of it or whatever. And if these are clouds, in between here, you could see what was there. So I'm standing outside the truck, and then all of a sudden, I see Art and his uncle and his auntie. They run out and they get in their car. They all get into his uncle's car, which was a convertible. So I was kind of looking at him like, where y'all going? Why we ain't taking the truck? He said, because he said there's gas in it, but it ain't enough gas in it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just jumped in the back seat. It was utter chaos. So when we leave in the apartment complex, I look up in the sky and it is It's 7 or 8, or maybe it was just my vision, my ocular vision in the dream had been messed up or distorted, but I seen like 7 or 8. They look like blood moons, but this thing, whatever it was, because it was like, and it started coming into focus, and whatever it was, we was in the car and we just felt this massive earthquake. And Art was driving the truck, driving this car, and we going up over this hill. But before we got in the car, and when I seen the sky and stuff, I knew that the Most High and Hamashiach was on their way. They was coming. But I had that weed in my pocket. This weed was in my pocket. And I threw it out my pocket, and I was just, and I was just praying. I kept telling people, I told y'all. I kept telling y'all. Y'all didn't believe me. Here it is, just like I told you. Nobody was paying me any attention. It was just complete havoc. And um, I was in the car with him. I'm still praying, mind. When we're driving, Arch driving, and we're going up this little hill, and he's driving so fast, but he don't pay attention where he's going. We just, and all I seen was like molten lava, fire, and it scared the hell out of me. It scared me. It scared me real bad. It scared the hell out of me. I mean, the car went up this little hill, like, and when we came down, the street, the road was gone. It was gone. It was just lava, hot molten lava, fire. Um, I was seeing other cars, and they were just busting into flames before they even hit. I didn't even stay in the dream long enough to see. I know Art just looked at me and was like, he looked back when we first went over, and we was all just screaming. No, they were screaming. I was still praying. And I just remember I kept saying, uh, hallelujah, Forgive me. I just, I don't know. Dream had something to do with a briefcase. I don't know. It was utter chaos everywhere. And the way they came out of the house, it's like they had seen a ghost. Because soon as they came out, everybody just rushed out of the apartments. And people was everywhere. Couldn't really drive. It's summertime. It's like 90 degrees outside. And there's ice. It was ice. It was the weirdest thing. I don't know. Um, I started playing for my sister-in-law's church because I'm a musician or whatever. About a week and a half ago, the Most High told me to get my stuff and get out of there. And I did. I went and got my keyboard and stuff yesterday. And just by me being obedient, yeah. And I don't know, y'all. This dream scared the living hell out of me. It did. Shalom.